There are some wounds that don't scream. They don't bleed. They don't even show. They just sit there, heavy, quiet, and patient. Most people think anger is loud, shouting, broken doors, slammed phones. But the most dangerous anger is the one that never speaks. This is a story about a man who learned that lesson too late, and then learned how to undo it. His name was Elias. Not because the name matters, but because people like him exist everywhere. Elias was known as the calm one. At work, when deadlines collapsed, he smiled. When colleagues took credit for his effort, he nodded. When promises were broken, he said, "It's fine." And people believed him. Because Elias never raised his voice, never argued, never complained. But every time he swallowed his anger, it didn't disappear. It sank, like sediment at the bottom of a river, invisible but building. There was one memory Elias carried more heavily than the others. Years ago, someone he trusted, someone he loved deeply, had walked away. No apology, no explanation, no closure, just absence. At first, Elias told himself he was being mature. "I don't hate them. I've moved on. Anger is pointless." But at night, when the world went quiet, that memory knocked, again and again and again. Over time, Elias began to notice changes. He was tired, not physically, but emotionally. Joy felt muted. Laughter ended too quickly. He wasn't angry, but he wasn't free either. His silence had turned into a cage. And the key? It was still in his hand. One evening, after a long walk meant to clear his mind, Elias noticed a small shop he had never seen before. The sign above the door read, "Repairs time, all kinds." Inside sat an old man behind a cluttered desk, surrounded by broken clocks, ticking, clicking, waiting. The watchmaker looked up and smiled. "You look like someone carrying broken time," he said. Elias laughed politely, but something in his chest tightened. As the watchmaker repaired a pocket watch, he asked, "Tell me, young man, why do you keep holding something that's already gone?" Elias froze. "I'm not holding anything," he replied. The old man nodded slowly. "That's what everyone says." The watchmaker spoke gently. "Anger isn't fire," he said. "It's weight. People think letting go means exploding, shouting, burning bridges. But real letting go is quieter. It's deciding not to carry the weight anymore." Elias frowned. "I'm not angry," he said firmly. "I forgave them." The old man smiled. "Forgiveness isn't pretending you weren't hurt. Forgiveness is acknowledging the pain and choosing not to live in it." The words landed hard, because Elias knew something then. He hadn't forgiven. He had buried. The watchmaker placed a shattered clock on the table. This clock stopped because one gear held tension too long. It didn't explode, it didn't scream, it just broke. Elias swallowed. That night, Elias sat alone in his apartment. No phone, no music, no distractions. For the first time, he let himself feel what he had been avoiding. The disappointment, the betrayal, the sadness, but not with rage, with honesty. Here's the truth most people never hear. Letting go does not mean forgetting what happened, excusing bad behavior, reopening closed doors. Letting go means releasing the emotional charge, accepting what cannot be changed, choosing peace over punishment. Elias finally understood. Elias wrote a letter, not to send, not to confront, just to release. He wrote everything he never said, every question, every hurt. Then he folded the paper and placed it in a drawer. Not burned, not torn, just acknowledged. Weeks passed. Something changed. Elias no longer replayed old conversations, no longer imagined arguments that never happened. He still remembered, but it didn't control him. He learned something powerful. You can let go without reopening the door. Peace does not require access. Elias returned to the watchmaker. The old man looked up and smiled. "You fixed your clock," he said. Elias shook his head. "No, he replied. "I stopped trying to force time backward." The watchmaker nodded approvingly. Before Elias left, the watchmaker said one last thing. Anger wants revenge. Peace wants freedom. Only one of them gives it to you. Elias didn't become louder. He didn't confront everyone who hurt him. He didn't rewrite the past. He simply stopped carrying it. And in that silence, he finally heard himself again. If you're watching this, and there's someone you still think about, not with love, not with hate, but with heaviness, this story is for you. You don't need to be angry to let go. You don't need closure from people who can't give it. You just need permission to put the weight down. Letting go without anger is not weakness. It is strength without noise, power without destruction, freedom without bitterness. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away quietly. Peace isn't found in anger. It's found in letting go. If this spoke to you, subscribe for more quiet stories and comment, "I choose peace."